All right, so this video, because I love my peeps, even the haters, and I've been watching your hating comments. There's just really a tiny handful of you, but I still got a spot in my heart for you because I love you. Remember Goonies and Chunk? Chunk, I love you. I love you too, Chunk. Hey, you guys. Guess what? I'm going to show you, because I've been getting emails, how do we get in on these ICOs? Like, can you teach us how to do that? I want to, if we want to get in on one, how do we do it? Well, I can show you. So there's a few different sites you can use, and then there's the add-on, which in my browser, if you look at this little fox looking thing, it's MetaMask. I'm not familiar with using it at all. I did install the add-on, but I couldn't tell you how to use it right now, and I'm not going to because I haven't done anything with it. I've been using MyEtherWallet.com constantly for this kind of stuff. Like for the Veritasium, that's where I went, so I figured out how to use it then. Got it down now. So I'm going to assume you don't have a MyEtherWallet.com account / wallet, whatever, yet. And if you do, then you already know what I'm about to tell you. So you're going to go to the site, MyEtherWallet.com. It takes you right here automatically. New wallet. I'm going to click it again just for the hell of it. Enter a password. You need to put in a decent password for yourself. I'm just going to put in this because this isn't even real for me. I'm not going to be using this account at all. So I'm going to hit create new wallet. Your password must be at least 9 characters. Oh, sorry. Let's try that again. So I understand, continue. See what it says. You need this key store file plus the password or just a private key. Next page. So I'm a private key kind of guy. Private key. I'm watching you. Okay. I continue. Well, first I guess I have to hit this. It's not letting me. So do I have to hit this button first anyways? Yes, you do. So you have to download this anyways. It's going to force you to download it. Fine. Whatever. I understand. Save your private key. So what I'm going to do with this, this is the only thing you really need to get access to this wallet here on this site. That's yours. And it is now live and it does exist. Now I'm going to highlight that entire thing. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to open up Notepad in my case. Let me bring it over here, my other screen. And again, you always triple check, double check. D25, D25, ends in DE3, ends in DE3. I'm satisfied. File, save as. In this case, I'll call it test2 text file. And now it's saved. Now it's on my computer. And honestly, you should put a little thumb drive in your computer and make a copy of that and put it on your thumb drive and then take your thumb drive out and set it somewhere safe of this text file. Copy it onto the thumb drive. So you have a copy on your computer and you have a copy on the thumb drive, and the thumb drive is now out of your computer sitting in wherever the hell you want to put it. So I'm not going to close this because I'm going to ultimately need this. So again, I'm going to copy this. So normally what happens, and sometimes the ICOs, the pages that are, the people that are doing it will have a page that says, this is the process for us to do this. But typically it's very similar, if not the same. So like with Veritasium, I had to go to contracts and I had to add this contract ID and all this special code and hit access, and it was different. The one for status, I know for a fact, you didn't have to do any of that. All you had to do was this. And by the way, this, what I'm about to show you, is probably how most ICOs, I think, going forward are going to do it. But just so you know, an ICO you may be interested in still might require you to put in the special contract address here. And again, there will be instructions on every ICO that has come out. I've seen the instructions. If you're using MyEtherWallet, click here and follow the instructions. And that part of it will say, go to the contracts button here, click that, type in this address for the contract address, and then type in this special code down here, and then hit access, and then whatever. But again, the one for like for like status, none of that had to happen. All you had to do, simply go to your site, you know, MyEtherWallet. This page comes up. You're going to, just to view it anyways, you could go to view, and you're always going to select, every time this comes up, you're always selecting private key. Show it with my private key. Unlock your wallet. So here, your address. Now I have a valid Ethereum address. So I'm my private file here, the one we saved. I'm going to type myetherwallet.com address and myetherwallet.com private key. Okay. File, save, again, put it back on your thumb drive as a copy and do the same thing, whatever, take it off. So now we have this. So this is our address, right? It's our address, not somebody else's. So what you would do is, first of all, do I have any balances? And you could say, which by the way, I've added some custom tokens. Veritasium in SNT, which is the status one, which of course you see 0, but this one isn't even showing up yet, which it's not going to anyways, because this is a brand new test thing I'm making you to show you, doing to show you. But anyways, what you would do is you've got to have Ethereum in this account, as in your account balance. So if you're on Coinbase or Gemini or your Exodus wallet or wherever the hell you've got your Ethereum, you got to transfer them out to this address. Also, which is this address, myetherwallet.com, your address. So wherever your coins are stored, Ethereum specifically, on that program or website, you're going to do a send or transfer, depending on what they call it. Some say transfer, some say send. It's the same damn thing. Where do you want to send it to? You're going to be sending it to this address right here. So anyways, once it finally comes up, here we go. Once it finally comes up, and you may have to refresh this page and do it over. So if you hit refresh, it always brings you back here. You're going to have to hit the private key again. Go back here, get my private key. Every time you refresh the page, I think you have to do this. But at least you can hit unlock. And with Ethereum, it's pretty quick. Within 30 seconds to a minute, maybe quicker, you should see, oh, there's my balance. So let's just say I had 10, right? Let's say this balance was 10 now. Okay, I'm good. So you've got this set up, and in 2 days from now, the ICO's kicking in. You want to get on it. So you're here, your Ethereum's here. You don't have to do anything else. Now it's, 10 or 15 minutes before the ICO is about to go live. So you click on send Ether in tokens. Here we go again. Private key. Go to my private key. Unlock. Boom. And again, you can verify, is this my address right here? DF6. DF6. Yes, it is. That's us. And I know it's never not going to be. It's going to be. But again, I love double checking and triple checking everything. So in this case, this is normally what happens. You can put it, see how this address is dimmed out or whatever? It's just letting you know that's a similar type of address you'd have to put in here. So either the ICO is going to give you an address that looks like what's already in here right now, or again, similar to this. It's not going to be your address, but a hash code like similar to this, and you'll put it right here. How many Ethereum do I want to send? Again, I said we had 10, and I want to use all 10 here. I think you're just going to simply hit 10, although you might have to do like 9.9 or something, just because there might be a little gas fee, and you don't want to get caught without a little bit of Ethereum left over. So in this case, if you had 10, maybe you could do like 9.9 or 9.8, be safe. So I would do, let's say 9.8. And the gas limit normally is set as soon as you do this. So once you tab or click, the gas is like figured out automatically, and you can just leave it where it's at. And then you would hit generate transaction. A little thing comes up down here, and then another one comes up that basically says, go ahead and do it. And then you hit that one, And then it pops up, and I think it's, hang on. All right, sorry about that. I'm choking over here on nothing. So I think a final one comes up, like final confirmation. Yes, I want to do it. And then it goes. If there's a problem like, oh, you don't have enough gas, you don't have enough, you know, that means like you had 10 Ethereum and you tried to send like 10.95 or something, or 9.95 or 10 even. Sorry, you got to have a little bit left over for the transaction to work. You may find that. That's why I say if you're doing like 10, and here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's 10, 100, or 1,000. If you just take that last decimal point, so in other words, if I had 900 by chance of Ethereum in this account, I'm not going to put 900 here. I'm going to put 899.8. That way I have 2/10 of an Ethereum sitting over here. Again, I think with 1/10 you're fine too. Matter of fact, I'm quite certain. As a matter of fact, the 10th I think is more than enough anyway. So you could actually probably put 899.9. In all honesty, I think you'd be okay. But it's such a small fraction anyway. Who cares? You know, it's like $20 worth when Ethereum's, you know, $300 or whatever. And again, the gas is usually always set, and then you hit that. Now, I noticed there's some ICOs where instead of them telling you to put this big long address in here where it says 2, you could actually put like, you know, sale.mynewICO, let's just say that was my website, .eth, which tells the system it's an Ether blockchain. The address is this. So it's kind of like a website, you know, www.such.com. And it basically converts the URL, the name, into the actual ID, the address. So you would put that in and see how below this little arrow pops up and it's got 0 times 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That should show a legitimate address. And again, you should be able to verify with the ICO, is this the right address? And again, it should be listed there. So it's just 2 ways of doing it. Not all of them do it this way. Some of them do. But no matter what, they should always show you what the actual address is somewhere. When that ICO goes live, that page is going to be like, okay, here's the address you need to send to. And again, it's either that long hash code or it might just be sale.such.eth. But usually when it's sale.such.eth, they also have the address below it. That way you can say, okay, I typed it in. And if it's legit, it'll come up right here. All these zeros will go away and it'll show you the address, and it better match the address on the ICO website. Because if it does not, do not send your Ether or Ethereum. So same thing, you hit generate, yada, yada, yada. Now, normally what happens, and again, same like with SNT, you hit add custom token. Address would be essentially the address that you just sent these Ethereum to. So the one that would be up here, and I'm not talking about this one. I'm talking about whatever came up here. The actual address, right? You would put that, copy that, assuming it was a real address, paste it, token symbol, let's say it was called, you know, the JSNP token, JST. Most of the time, decimals is 18, but they will tell you on the ICO page. You would hit save, and then all of a sudden you have Veritasium, you'd have this, whatever. You'd see your new custom token here. It may not give you the tokens immediately. It could be a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days before the tokens come back to you from them. So don't get panicked if they're not there, like right away or even an hour or a day later. What's happening? The only thing you really need to be careful about, there are people, shysters, scamsters, or scammers, who are putting up websites with a very similar domain name to confuse you. And they're saying, oh yeah, this is the ICO and here's our address. Send the coins, send your Ether to our address for this new ICO. And it's a fraud site. So you go and send your Ethereum, I want on the ICO. And you just sent your Ethereum to somebody's wallet, basically. They gave you a wallet address. And you ain't getting it back. So you got to be very careful. So make sure when you're doing the ICO, it's, you know, it's the legit site. You didn't land on a fake site that looks like the legit site. I mean, again, this is not exactly easy, right? You know what I mean? But if you just pay attention and do these things, be smart about stuff, we can all make a fortune. I already have. You heard my story. 5K 3 weeks ago turned into 93,000. That's the story for my kids, grandkids. They're not going to believe this, right? So that could be you too. That could be any of us. Did I get on the coin that you got in on? Did you get on the coin that I was in on? Did it really matter? Mine went 50 times. Yours went 30 times. You're not really upset, are you? No, I made 30 times my money, moron. Me neither. Made 50. I'm good. I'm happy for you too, by the way. You know what I mean? That's the kind of stories I'm just loving to hear. And again, they're already out there, myself included. So that's it. That's as simple as it is. Now, once it's back here, and let's say that particular token is being sold on some other exchange, right? And we call it the JST token here, right? And now it's finally being listed on a real exchange such as Kraken, Polynix, whatever. And I want to sell it. Again, you're going to go right up to here, click Send Ether and Tokens. The same exact page is coming up again. You're going to put in the address of your Ethereum account on whatever exchange that was. All exchanges will have somewhere that lets you withdraw or deposit or whatever. You're going to deposit Ethereum, and it's going to say, okay, here's your Ethereum address to deposit it to on the exchange. You're going to put that address right here. And then you're going to send however much of, now see how it says Ethereum here? This is important. See this? You're going to hit this, and you're going to pick the one you want. Because in this case, even though it's all fake, I have Ethereum, I have Veritasium, and I have SNT, which is actually status token, which I don't. So make sure you realize what you're doing. The thing is, if the exchange already has it, so I need to back up. I gave an example just now of like if you're on Kraken and I said go to your Ethereum address at Kraken and I say I want to deposit that, forget that, scratch that. We're not moving the Ethereum, we're moving the new coin, right? So essentially the token needs to be sent over there. Therefore, the exchange would have that token listed as a acceptable deposit coin. So you would basically figure out, okay, where's a status coin? Oh, there's status coin. Boop. I want to deposit it. Here's your deposit address for status. And you know what? It might even be the same as your Ethereum address at that exchange because it rides on the blockchain. I don't know yet because none of these are listed, but it might simply be, oh, you don't even need a new address. You don't need a special address for the token. You actually just use your Ethereum address, which is already here on our exchange. So just use that one and put it in here. We'll find out when the day comes. They may have a specific address for these, but again, if it's riding on the Ethereum blockchain, it should, in theory, have an Ethereum address. Therefore, even though, well, not even though, you go to Kraken, you want to do a deposit, here's your address. Again, if it's that other coin, the new coin, and they have it listed, fine, deposit, here's your address, and it's probably going to show you the same address as your Ethereum address. But it might not. We got to wait and see when these exchanges finally list these things. We'll have to wait. And then you take that, you're going to paste it in here, but you still have to come down to this thing and click which coin. So even though we have some Ethereum, and Veritasium, which rides on the Ethereum blockchain, and SNT, which rides on the Ethereum blockchain, you got to pick which one you want. So in this case, I'd say, let's say it was SNT. And I'm going to send over, I have 10 of these new coins, these SNT coins. I'm going to send 10. Place, again, it would be a similar address like this or whatever. And then you'd send it. You'd go back to your exchange. And moments later, it should show up. Okay, you now have such and such. Again, what I'm confused about is, will there be an additional different Ethereum address given to you on the exchange specifically for that token? Or is it simply going to be, no, we only need your one Ethereum address that we've provided for you, and you can do all of the tokens that ride on the Ethereum blockchain, which makes life even easier. It might be that simple. And the fact that you're sending the specific token, the system, the Ethereum system already knows this is a special token, so I can do the math and figure out how many you're about to get over here on this exchange, even though it's an Ethereum address. So I know that's a little confusing, but I wanted to just show you that's how you do it. Not real hard. Take care.